Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, and welcome back to part 6 of Lord of the Rings Online as we play as Runlina, the Beorning. Firstly, though, an apology. You'll notice that from our quest, we're a little bit forward than where we were when we last left off at part 5. So I basically recorded another part 6. I continued on the main quest, but unfortunately that video got damaged in recording, so I lost all of the footage. So you'll miss a little bit of the main story, and I'll try and make sure that doesn't happen again. But all you've missed basically is Torredan, the ranger, gave us a quest to find Amdir, and we did. He was captured by Skunkwood and we met him, but it was too late to save him. He was already turned to a wraith, basically like what would have happened to Frodo if Elrond hadn't saved him. So Amdir is now, he's escaped his prison from Skunkwood and is now on the loose as a wraith, and he killed Torredan. So now our quest is to talk to Constable Tanglerush and see if she can help us locate him wherever he might be. And Constable Tanglerush is down in Staddle, I believe. Yeah, in the town centre. So we're leaving Coombe behind and we are heading south to Staddle. We haven't been to Staddle yet in this game, so it's quite nice to go check out a new area. We'll have covered the majority of Middle-earth by the end of our quest, whenever that might be. There's a quest here. Lollo, a wending way. Oh, and one thing actually, our quest is level 12. And it's got that dark orange colour, which tells us that it's actually a little bit probably hard for our character. So there's no harm in us getting a few more quests to level up a little bit more. Or maybe actually it might be level 14.
Oh, good day.
You say you've spoken with Burl Beeman? Oh, that is bad. Very bad indeed. I had a good and profitable arrangement with Beeman. I would purchase pipeweed from here in Staddle, bring it to Beeman in exchange for honey, and then use the honey to satisfy my outstanding contracts in Staddle. But as much as I would like to renew that arrangement, I am unable to do so at the moment. Unless maybe you could do something for me.
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
While I was trying to sell some of my wares to the farms east of Staddle, a bear got into my wagon here and made off with my pack. I expect it probably dragged it out to eat my lunch. The problem is that my coin purse was in that pack, which means I can't buy pipeweed to trade to Burl. Worse, if I don't get it back within the next 15 minutes, I'm sure to miss out on the good prices of pipeweed in Staddle. You've got to find the bear that stole my pack and bring it to me in the next 15 minutes, Runlina. We can do that. We'll take his his shoulder pads are much better for us. Yeah, where's that guy? It's on our way to Staddle anyway, so there's no harm doing it. And we actually are timed, so we'll do that quest first before we talk to the constable. And we're also still in the prologue, you have to remember. And there's quite a few quests to do around here, which is good. There's the constable.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Ah, this is a level 14 quest. Hoy there, do you know anything about dogs? Gar here has been feeling poorly since yesterday, and he won't eat a bite. I fetched him some fresh water from the well, and he just turns away. Maybe you could help me. Eldo Swathmage knows a fair bit about animals, and he might have an idea about what's wrong with Gar. He lives quite a bit east of town, almost on the edge of the mid-water marshes, and I don't think Gar would be up for the walk. Just take the road east out of town to the Widow Froghorn's farm, then north from there and down east the hill. Eldo's a bit of a queer sort, but he loves dogs, so he can't be that bad, right? I'd appreciate anything you could do to help. They're the same level gauntlets, but no harm for the XP, as I said. 2 quests from the Watcher, Redweed and Ready. He's got a good few quests, actually.
Stay a moment.
Gammy Boggs, one of the older hobbits here in Staddle, keeps tabs on all the hobbits on the farms east of the town centre. If you find yourself on the road east, look to the north of the second farm and you'll find Gammy, looking out over the rolling pipeweed farms. She's always got something to say to passers-by and will likely want something done.
Would you do something for me?
Oh, I'm glad to see you. There are goblins in the midwater marshes, or so it has been told, and if that is the case, we need to know how many we're dealing with. There are 2 sets of ruins in the southern expanse of the marshes. I would ask you to go to these ruins and defeat any hobbits you find. If there are goblins near both ruins, we'll have a better idea of how far they've spread. The first set of ruins are found southeast of Eldo Swatmage's farm, east of Staddle. South of his home is a narrow stretch of land that extends into the marshes and runs right into the sunken stones. The Goblin Hole ruins are far to the east and south of those. When you are done, check in with Bill Mossfoot. He and another member of the Watch have taken up station out in the eastern marshes, just to the southeast of the Midwater ruins.
Might I take a moment of your time?
We might be close to dealing the goblins a decisive blow, Runlina. The only thing keeping them from fighting amongst themselves are their loyalty of the 2 chieftains that are rumoured to lead them, Gertstaz and Gerzram. If you were to slay these 2 chieftains, I think the goblins would fall to squabbling amongst themselves. Such squabbling will leave them unable to mount an attack on Staddle. The 2 chieftains will be fairly close together somewhere in the Goblin Hole ruins, so each of them can keep an eye on the other. You may need to gather help. Those chieftains will be the strongest of the lot. Again, the items aren't really worth it, but the quests are good to do.
Would you do something for me?
Everyone is talking about the goblins these days, but I'm worried about something other than goblins. The sound of the Knickerbreakers in the midwater marshes have gotten much louder recently. There are many more of them than there used to be, I'm sure of it. I'm afraid that before long they will move out of the marshes and descend upon the town. If you could kill a few of them, you would be doing this town a great service. The midwater marshes are east of the Staddle beyond Swatmage's farm. When you are done, seek out Edda Twiggins in the southeastern reaches of the midwater marshes. She'll be happy to hear about your progress. So we've got a lot more quests now on our... There's another quest here. Yep, the grocer.
Might I speak with you a moment?
I've noticed my pipe wheel field is rather less robust than it should be. At first I suspected animals had gotten at it. We have had some trouble with wolves ranging too far to town recently, but I don't think that is the answer. What wolves have to do with pipeweed? I think the Black Wool Brigands are to blame, Runlina. Men have a taste for pipeweed ever since we taught them the craft. Now I fear these villains have been sneaking in after dark to pinch some of my most promising crop. Take this letter to Constable Bolger and ask him what he intends to do about it. You'll find him southeast of here on the outskirts of Staddle. He must do something. These men have gone too far. And my inventory is nearly overflowing.
What do you need?
Let's just get rid of these quests first and deal with the main ones that we can find on the map easily enough. Unless you just want me to take you any bears. Dragged it away to the valley east of him. So it has to be along here somewhere. Yeah, there's bears. And we got it. That was quick, only 2 of them. I think this could end up being the longest series on my channel. Most people say it takes a lot of months to complete LOTRO from start to finish, and that's if you're playing quite big periods of playtime, where I'm just doing an hour a day or so.
Hello there.
My pack, you found it, and with time to spare too. Take this as a token of my thanks, Runlina. Give us the shoulder pads, thank you. Oh, we can read that letter as well. Constable Bulger, as you are no doubt well aware, these are difficult times for all of us who live in and around the Chetwood. I must ask, sir, whether you believe these Blackwall villains will stop their attacks of their own accord, for it seems to me, and I am by no means an expert on the subject, though I must confess a certain professional interest compels me to inquire in this regard, that you have done very little to safeguard the property of the people of Staddle. I have observed, on no fewer than 2 occasions, dark shapes lurking around my pipeweed field. An investigation the next day revealed to me the loss of several of the ripest plants. There are brigands lurking in these parts, Constable Bulger, and if you are unable to retrieve my stolen pipeweed from their overlarge and undeserving hands, I shall consult with Mr. Redweed, Mr. Foxglove, and Mrs. Tanglerush, who I believe will surely give me the satisfaction of my returned pipeweed. These watchers of Bree may be big folk, but they are a good sort, and I will turn to them next if you are unable to provide satisfaction. I bid you good day, Constable, Mr. Himlock Grouse. He's not taking any messing. I'm not sure we'll be able to take out the 2 goblin leaders, but we can leave that one to last. But these quests are good because they just give us the XP of leveling up a little bit more. And we get to see a bit more of Middle Earth as well, which is never a bad thing. It's interesting, every time I've been playing this game, the world chat has been going mental. It's quite quiet today. It's only, I mean, it's, 20 to 3 on a Sunday evening. Hope she won't mind if we cut across her field. There's Eldo Swatmage and Vanetta.
Oh, woe is me.
What? Gar is sick? Why, he came from one of my Vanetta's litters. My own dogs occasionally eat something that doesn't set quite right with them. When they do, I've got a herbal remedy my grandfather taught me that helps clear it right up. I have most everything on hand, but I'll be needing fennel seeds to finish it up proper. Fennel grows in the mid-water marshes, but it's hard to find because the Knickerbreakers have a fancy for it. It might be easier to find a Knickerbreaker that still has fennel caught in its pinches than to find a fresh plant. Bring the seeds back to me and I'll mix up a remedy for Gar. He's got a quest of his own.
I hope it's not a bother, but may I speak with you?
This is a fine farm, wouldn't you say? Yes, life has been kind to me. My only regret is that I haven't anyone to share it with. I think you might be able to help me, if you're of a mind. The widow Froghorn lives up the hill to the west, and she's a fine lady, but she won't hear of me courting her. I've been sending letters to her for a while now, and asking her to tea, to dance, to watch over my dog, but she refuses every time. Can't say I blame her. Now, Widow Foghorn, Asphodel is her right name, is always needing help around her farm. Maybe if you lend her a hand, saying a kind word about me now and then, she'll change her mind. Go west up the hill and then turn south by the fence at the top. Her farm's at the crossroads. No harm playing a Cupid. I'll do this quest easily enough because it's level 10, so, and I might get us close, if not over, to level 12.
Lovely day, isn't it?
Who might you be? Another farmhand Eldo sent to help me. I don't need his help, thank you very much, and good day to you. No matter how many times I tell him no, he just won't give up. I swear there's only one thing he loves, and it's those dogs he raises. If it doesn't bark or have a tail to wag, he doesn't know the first thing about it.
Stay and have some tea.
I must beg your pardon, but it's been a bit of a trial since I lost my Bodo. If you are here to lend a hand, I won't stop you. The pipeweed is ready for harvest, so if you're still intent on helping out, you can bring it in. It's right here on the other side of my wheat field, but you should know I'll not change my mind about old Eldo Swathmage. Just one pipe weed she needed.
Hello there.
I see you've harvested quite a bundle of pipeweed. You have my thanks. A helping hand is appreciated, no matter where it comes from. You say Eldo is a good, solid hobbit. You would say that, I suppose, being in his employ. Asphodel takes the pipeweed and hands you a folded, sealed note. Take this back to your good, solid friend, and don't read it. I'm tempted, but we'll respect her wishes. And this will probably get us level 12.
Oh, woe is me.
You're back. How did it go? What's this? Refused again? Well, I'm not going to give up. If you go back and tell her some of my good qualities, I'm sure she'll reconsider. I'm sure of it. Did you mention how hard-working I am? I'm an honest fellow, and good to my dogs. They say you can judge the worth of a hobbit by how he treats his dogs, and I treat mine like royalty. You go help her out around the farm some more, and be sure to mention that. Like royalty.
I'm sure it's a bother, but I could use your help.
Level 12. Asphodel mentioned in her letter that there are now bears wandering closer and closer to her farm. Maybe this is a clue that she needs some help with them. One day you make your way into the woods south of her farm and drive the bears away. This might show her that I am willing to see her to safety and show how caring I am. When you're done, tell her. No harm.
Hello there.
Sent you again, did he? That Eldo SWAT mage is certainly persistent. I'll give him that at least. He's honest too. I'm glad you shared that information, Runlina, because it's certainly important. Or perhaps it isn't. Tell him that I appreciate the help around here, but no, my answer is still no. Poor guy, can't catch a break.
Please, leave me to my sorrow.
Still no. She is fickle to be sure, but she's the finest lady in Staddle. Well, regardless, I think you made another fine impression. You're doing wonderfully, Runlina.
Might I trouble you for some help?
Asphodel keeps her farm going by selling her goods at the farmer's market. I made a deal with Hemlock Grouse to pay double what others pay for her fresh vegetables. Could you go to her farm, collect the produce she means to sell, and deliver it to Hemlock? Be sure to return the money to her when you are done. Seems like we're spending our this video matchmaking.
How do you do?
Eldo didn't send a layabout, did he? He's kind to his dog, how about that? Since you've already proven yourself so useful, why not take this into Staddle and sell it to Hemlock Grouse? He'll be in the town square most likely. Maybe then we can continue our discussion of Eldo SWAT Mage's good qualities, which I'm sure you will tell me there are many. Oh, that's it. It's got Gammy while we're here.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Redweed is such a good constable, always had a moment for Gammy, he does. I've been here since I was a little hobbit, through my tweens and on now into my older years, seen a good crop of hobbit grown, and seen more wander into the hill overlooking Bree or down onto the Buckland or the Shire. Staddle is my home, and I shall not leave any time. I know all the hobbits here, who has the long hair, curly hair, even the little blonde hobbit. How curious, I said when I seen him. Listen to me prattling on.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
I'd wager Falco Greenhand is the best gardener in all of Staddle, and that's saying quite a lot. He's very proud of that garden of his, and not without reason. It's quite a sight. Recently he hasn't been coming round to visit like he used to, though, and I'm a little worried about him. In fact, I heard his garden is going through a rough spell, and it might not survive the season. Maybe you can find out what's going on and put my mind at ease. Falco's farm is southwest of here. Falco's a good friend, and I'd hate to see him lose the garden. Sure thing. I like a bit of gardening myself.
lovely day, isn't it?
Please leave me alone. I don't need this right now. I have too much else to worry about. It's a busybody. Shoo! My problems are not yours. Go tell Gavin that she should stop nosing in. Ah, so you've got some produce for sale from the Widow Foghorn, have you?
Can't he be left alone?
Well, I'll be taking it, and here's the payment. And before you start thinking I've gone soft in the head, that's double what I usually pay. Eldo Swatmage and I have a standing agreement on account of if he asks me to pay double for any of the widow's produce, then he gives me the difference. It's true what they say, a hobbit in love doesn't have no hobbit sense at all. You bring that payment back to the Widow Foghorn and don't mention the agreement I've got with Swatmage. That's part of the whole agreement.
A lovely day, isn't it?
This seems like a bit much. Are you sure Himlock gave you the right amount? No, don't tell me. I have a feeling Eldo Swatmage might have something to do with Himlock's generosity.
Stay and have some tea.
I'm surprised at how earnest Eldo seems to be. Perhaps I shall give him a chance. A courtship could be just the thing to brighten my days. Tell him that I'll consider his courting me, but he'll need to sell me his dog, Juanetta. I always come down with the sneezes whenever I'm around dogs of her breed, and it's really unbearable. Hurry back with his answer. Oh, I'm all aflutter like a little hobbit girl. Oh, I don't know if you want to sell Juanetta the wedge between the two of them, or potential wedge. But if he's in love, maybe he will.
Oh, woe is me.
Sell Juanetta? I can't. I've had Juanetta here since she was a pup. She's given me litter after litter of good, strong pups. She's my prized dog. I can't sell her. If she was a hobbit and I was a dog, she wouldn't sell me, I know it. If that is what Asphodel wants, tell her I can't. I can't do it. Looks like I won't ever be courting the Widow Foghorn. Please don't think me ungrateful for what you've done, but I just can't lose my Juanetta. Well, actually, maybe she's testing him. She wants to see how loyal he is, and he's proving his loyalty by not selling his dog. But that's the romantic in me. It could be just she doesn't actually want the dog there.
Good day.
What? He won't sell his dog? Now that I want him courting me even more, what loyalty? Not even to a person. See, I knew that was coming. You were right all along, Runlina. Eldo Swatmage might not be the most well-dressed hobbit in Staddle, or even the most well-spoken, but he's a good, hard-working, loyal fellow. Maybe someday it'll be a cure for the sneezes I get around that breed of dog, and not even one Etty will keep me from my Eldo. Please go tell him at once, Runlina. Well, that's brilliant.
I'm sorry.
Really?
What elsewhere?
Elda looks to Juanetta. Did you hear that, Juanetta? Asphodel said yes. Runlina, I don't know if this is thanks enough for what you've done for me. Take this and know that I'll be everything I promised Asphodel and more. Don't want the shield. The helm is not as good. Neither is that, but let's just take one anyway. Well, I think that's a happy note to end our video on. Eldo and Asphodel coming together. So, thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving me a like and subscribe to stay in touch with what's going on in the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care and have a good day.